Hello, I am Shéár Avory. I am a multiracial, Black and Indigenous, transgender, non-binary, femme young person of color and national social justice advocate committed to the advancement of social, economic, racial, gender, and disability justice and the empowerment of young people. I am a 2018 Biden Fellow for LGBTQ equality and stand before you as an ungraduated student of 13 public schools who endured bullying and harassment that escalated to the point that I was no longer able to attend school safely and avail of the benefits of public education. As a young person who once lost the aspiration to learn and has yet to obtain a general education diploma. And as a scholar of struggle and resiliency. Unapologetically, I am young, gifted, and Black. Now more than ever before, I believe in liberation in our lifetime. I am inspired and ever more empowered by the resilience and audacity and of the unprecedented embrace of the leadership of the students of Parkland and young people like Naomi Wadler, nationally and internationally, who together are saying, enough, me too, and Black Lives Matter. My social justice advocacy has always been rooted in the empowerment of young people. I've shouted from the mountaintop and have hymned in the lowest of valleys, and I'll give praise here and now once more. Young people have been at the vanguard, sustaining and birthing new hope in our movements for social change. Young trans women and femmes, non-binary people, and people of color began the intersectional movements for social, economic, racial, gender, and disability justice that continues today. Now is the time for young people to be seen and heard, and for our movements to be intentionally inclusive and empowering of young people, with a seat at every table and a voice in every conversation. In the 3rd grade, I was part of the inaugural class of student leadership in my elementary school and advocated for healthier school lunches after my peers and I were served spoiled food for the entirety of the first semester. I wrote a letter to the superintendent of the Pasadena Unified School District, and on the first day of class in the 2nd semester, I was summoned to the principal's office to meet with the principal, school administrators, and the superintendent. Following the meeting, healthier lunches were served, educational awareness about healthy eating was integrated into curriculum, and salad bars with fresh fruits and veggies were available to students district-wide. While in foster care, I successfully sought a court order enrolling me in an independent study program after enduring harassment and physical assault in the first week that I was placed in a new middle school despite my grievances. And while enduring tenacious bullying and harassment in my sophomore year of high school, my mother and I met with representatives of then Senator Barbara Boxer in support of the Student Non-Discrimination Act. At the age of 17, I was and remain the youngest person to serve as an executive committee member of the Los Angeles Transgender Service Provider Network. As an executive committee member appointed by and in representation of Gender Justice Los Angeles and Children's Hospital Los Angeles, I advocated for and ensured aspects of youth inclusion and the development of the pioneering Trans Wellness Center, a home for wellness comprised of 6 local organizations, providing comprehensive resources and support services for transgender and non-binary people, funded through an unprecedented $1 million annual grant for 3 to 5 years from the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health. The same can be said about my efforts as the chairperson of the Youth Advisory Committee of the 2016 DTLA Proud Festival, as a former Genders and Sexualities Alliance Network Truth Council member of the state of California, In partnership with the Transgender Law Center, I collaboratively supported public awareness and understanding initiatives to evolve empathy and support for transgender and gender nonconforming youth through youth storytelling and peer leadership development. And as a community portrait research analyst, that is right. And as a community portrait research analyst of the What's Your Issue National LGBTQ Youth Survey, in fellowship with the Public Science Project of the City University of New York, I am ethically committed to documenting and archiving the lived truths, traumas, and resiliency of young people in an authentic, non-exploitive, or tokenizing portrayal, and using research to shift societal disparities with the foundational principle, no research on us without us. Throughout my tenure advocating for social justice, I have advocated for our movements in themselves to be intentionally inclusive and empowering of young people, as the next generation and our ancestors artists thrive towards liberation. In doing so, I've unapologetically asserted myself to take a seat at numerous tables, speaking truth to power and representation of young people who remain silenced and unheard with the belief of liberation in our lifetime. In my opinion, the only equal access opportunity accessible for youth is the prison industrial complex. I say this as a young person, personally impacted by wrongful and discriminatory incarceration, while enduring the struggles of homelessness. You, present here today, have the power, thus the privilege, thus the obligation to shift this pipeline, contributing to the societal disparities impacting young people, particularly LGBTQ, intersex, and non-binary youth, and young people of color, so that young people like myself and the vibrant, beautiful young girls Naomi Waldler spoke of can thrive instead of merely surviving. We are the ones we've been waiting for. What if youth were part of the conversation? What if youth were seen as experts of their truths in shaping the policies that impacted their lives? Well, in this short 7.5 minutes, I think I've answered that question.